July 16, 1913, at Abala, Ogbuebule town in the then Ikwano division, but now Ikwano local government area of Abia State of Nigeria. The birth of a little boy, Joseph Ikechukwu, into the family of Pa Frank Anyao and Madam Nweke Anyao was received with all excitement that attend the birth of any other baby. Little did the family of Pa Anyao know that a mighty tree breeding valuable fruits can come out of a mustard seed. The birth, the growth, upbringing, vocation, calling, and ministry of Joseph Ikechukwu could be vividly described as one divinely ordained from the conception through life to his transition to eternity.
This is where he living, where they born him. Before he left here, go the side where he there now. He's a wonderful man.
My father died. So my mother carried me to their village. There I grew. And I know him. I know his brother. They are the family. So my brother Gabriel, we all they moved together.
Our relationship started very smoothly, as if we had known each other long time ago, or I was born through his family. It was a divine relationship. And they serve Ikechukwu lunch or breakfast in those days, and I'm around. People will congregate around the wall, but I will be at his table, eating with him. My son, this one, take this. And we just join together like that. If he wants to pray sacred prayers, or where originally he used to be alone in his room praying, he will ask them to go and call me if I'm in the house. And I hear his prayers, and I learned how to pray that way.
I met him for the first time. He appealed to me as a person. His personality was imposing. I mean, he was handsome. His smile alone was captivating. And he had that passionate personality that would attract anybody at any time. And I got used to him. And I liked him as a person.
There's nobody who I can take a compare Ikechukwu. I entered the world 1929. Since I see him, Ikechukwu has no spot. It's only white, both front and back. In the Abala here, we lose something. We cannot get a great man unless God help us.
Nobody, he don't hate anybody. And anybody when they do bad, he don't want it. He must correct the person.
He was a man of principle, a man of truth, a man of honesty. We see him as a great healer.
By the grace of God, he was a true man of God, a genuine and a respectable man of God. So loving, so kind, somebody that cherishes his children, who did the work of God without reservation.
Apostle Joseph Ikechukwu, the elect of God, and the founder of St. Joseph Chosen Church of God, is my father. As As a father, he was a wonderful father. In fact, it's not a thing you give in video description. If you want to talk about how he played his father role to myself and my siblings, it's a lot. He had love. He binded us in unity. He made sure that we all eat from the same pot, from the same plates, sleep within the same house, and live in peace. And he's a very busy man who travels here and there. But in spite of his being busy, he has time for all of us, as many as we are. We have individual attachment to each and every one of us. Every one of us can explain how attached we are personally to him. The few moments he's around, we feel his impact, we feel his love, we feel his care. He makes sure that we all go through school. He made sure that we all eat. If there's anything to share, no matter how little, he made sure that it's shared around for everybody. Not just his biological children. In the house, we are more than his biological children. A lot of his spiritual children were also living in the house, and you cannot differentiate who is who. That is because of the role he played. From our birth to when he left us, he was really a father.
As his children, we had a very unique relationship with our dad. He was two parts to us. First, he was our biological dad, and then secondly, he was our spiritual father. As a matter of fact, we called him Mna, and that is how he preferred to be called. It's the Igbo dialect for daddy. We were very, very, very close to him. As busy as my dad was with his ministry in those days, he was equally very busy taking care of the household. My dad, he was a very strong relationship. He had a very strong relationship with the whole family. And every time he come home, he won't know that everybody is fine. He provided for us, made sure that we were okay, and we really had a good time with our dad. To God be the glory, even though he's not here today. And I guarantee you that we still feel his presence every single day of our lives. And I remember everything he tells me, because that's how close we were to our dad. He was a very unique dad. I had a father that come back home every day and sit us together in the kitchen table and in the living room and tell us stories about his day and had fun and jokes with us, because that's how close. Besides being, the church know him as the apostle, we know him as Nna, because he was very, very personal relationship with us, the children.
Joseph Ikechukwu grew like every other child in his community and learned the art of farming from his father, who was a successful farmer then. He may not have got much of Western education, as he was withdrawn from school at Infant 1, based on mere excuse that a teacher flogged him. But this young Joseph was under divine and inspirational tutelage, as God ordered his footsteps through many professions to touch humanity dearly. He was into carpentry, bricklaying, photography, and midwifery, to mention just a few.
January 1946, I go to mail office. So I follow them. We reach Benin in the night. We sleep there. In the morning, they say people who they go Sapele, make them come follow the mail where they go Sapele. So we reach Waterside, Sapele Waterside. So that time they never no bridge there now. Upon two they cross. So we come down there. I can't stand. I don't know where But he told me, say, when I reach start playing water side, as you come back, I go see the way they go at the boat, the way they go Orife for the boat. So as I stand there, I come see one man. I ask him, say, please, what is the way to Ajabo to do? Ask me, say, I go Ajabo this. I say, yes. He said, who I want to go see? I said, I want to go see my brother there. He said, who's my brother? I said, Joseph, the photographer. He said, oh, you know the man.
He's a man of great spiritual gifts. All the spiritual gifts he has. That's on the spiritual side. Now, physically, he walked. He was a carpenter. So he can do furniture. Super. So he's a tailor. He did the garments, and you can't find the kind of garments, the pattern how God revealed to him to make them. You can't find it anywhere. You see people with garments, you see the gaps, either dancing to one side or the other side, but his own is quite neat, very perfect. So he's like I said before, an author, very thorough. Right. So the garments and the baptismal garments of the church, but he brought them out from heaven and he showed him and brought it out.
We went to Akwa Ibom. In the same Akwa Ibom, very close to Samuel Peter's house, we held a crusade. In that crusade, we went outside, we looked for plank and nail and hammer. He built the stage himself. All the passerby started looking at him. What type of man is this? As a carpenter, doing the work. As a carpenter, sawing it. And we put the stage in order.
As a young growing boy, Joseph Ikechukwu won so many laurels in the village wrestling, local cultural dancing competitions. He was very industrious and more so a supernatural thinker.
The young men used to go rise for another village. So I follow them, they go.
The one I see, anywhere they arise up, we follow them. In back, nobody make him back, reach the ground. People they can't hire him. People they can't hire him to come and face a strongest man, and he will fail that man. He will fail that man. He will fall that man. So Ikechukwu is a wonderful man.
He's good in writing. He doesn't relent. Can wake up by 7. As God ministered to him, he will call me and we start writing.
In fact, he was running a mobile Bible college because all of us lived with him. All the trainees live with him. Anywhere he goes, we go along with him until when the Lord called him home. So that was the method he was using then. There was nothing like a classroom lectures or something like that.
He was a well-traveled man. Sometimes he has his itinerary, traveling itinerary. He will go out sometimes in a month, 2 months, traveling far and wide to spread the gospel. He told us that spreading the gospel is his priority, that he came for the 3 main works of Jesus: teaching, preaching, and healing.
We continue the worship for his house, and in take picture. I go wash them, go give. Sometimes we go move, go to camp where the workers live. They go door by door. They say, come out and hear the word of God. So many people, they go come out. They go preach for them. Another month too, we go.
As an adventurous young man under divine inspiration, Joseph Ikechukwu, being the first of his parents, desirous of excellence, left his parents at Ogbuebule for Port Harcourt, where he worked as a domestic servant to earn money, with which he took care of his siblings and parents. Then, in the southeastern part of Nigeria, Christianity and by extension Western education were not properly footed, but many converts were converted into what they called the white man's religion. Among these converts was Pa Frank Anyanwu Okeogu, Ikechukwu's father, who was converted into the Methodist faith in 1912. While away in Port Harcourt, Ikechukwu's father died in 1935, thus resting the sole responsibility of sustaining the house on him. This period became so challenging for him, even as his younger brother had to drop out of school for lack of fund. Undaunted, Ikechukwu faced challenges of life headlong with a view to making a success story out of it, as he vowed not to allow his family live in poverty, hence his decision to look for greener pastures.
When things become hard for him, see, so he leave the village, go out.
Consequently, the young Ikechukwu left Ogbuebule for Nkwele Ezonanka, a community between Onitsha and Awka, where in 1937 he got a job as a laborer in a palm plantation owned by the UAC. It was while working in the UAC farm that his divine assignment of evangelism and ministration into souls for God's kingdom was revealed in a dream. The message of Nkwele was plain and simple, declaring that Joseph must never touch or handle unclean things, as he has been purposely created and destined for God's work. For a young Methodist man like Joseph, understanding the revelation certainly must be very difficult until an apostolic pastor interpreted the revelation for him and counseled him that young Joseph has a divine calling for God's work. With the message and impression registered in his heart, Joseph Ikechukwu accepted to carry the cross. He then resigned from his job at UAC Palm Plantation and headed back to his village, Ogbuebule.
Later, the year he come back. But then, they have bring a apostolic church for Ogbuebule. So when he come back, he joined the apostolic church.
Even though Joseph Ikechukwu was baptized in 1934 into the Methodist Church, where he fellowshipped until the divine revelation, he left the church to commence fellowship with the Apostolic Church. With just 5 years in the Apostolic Church, increased family responsibilities began to shake his devotion to God, almost derailed his divine vision and mission. Being human, Joseph Ikechukwu launched out to ensure the welfare of his siblings as he embarked on a long journey from Ogbuebule to Ajagbodudu in present-day Delta State of Nigeria, seeking a better paying job. On the 10th of February 1942, Joseph Ikechukwu arrived at Jagbodudu, where he was able to secure a job in Cowan Estate near Sapele in Delta State on a daily pay of 4 pence.
One Sunday, just from where they do this boy come to town for their senior brother house where Gabriel is there. There I meet him. When he see me, come hold me. Say, Samson, are you in the same anyway? Say, yes. He said, he said, you're happy to see me. He said, the Ajabo Dudu. God called him to live with the work when they do. Go and gather the children of God with the worker. No, they don't know where they are going. So by then, he resigned. Go back to village. Go and confess. Because as any day, that Ajabo would say, he forgot God. So he go and confess. Say they pray for him.
A year after he arrived at Jabodudu, precisely 1943, God revealed to Ikechukwu in a dream to learn the art of photography, a directive he quickly obeyed. The effect was great as his source of income improved, thus giving him a better chance to assist his younger ones. Joseph Ikechukwu has severally met God in dreams and visions, but the 1945 encounter was simply too dramatic. At about 9 a.m. in the month of May 1945, Joseph led his workers at the Cohen estate on their daily routine to the field. There he saw a great lightning that sent him uncontrollable reeling on the ground, an incident his workers misinterpreted to have an epileptic fit. Even when Joseph had resigned from his paid job, he held on to his photography, which was a divinely commissioned job. He made money from this and had savings. At a point in time, he bought a piece of land from one Charles Ekpo at Ajabodudu for £6, where he built the first church.
We continued the worship for a house, and then they take picture. I go wash and go give. Before God can bring some money, we go buy land near Ajabodio market. See? So we begin to go cut stick, come not be block now modern. So we come build the church. First of all, they come build a parcelage. And he live that place. But come for that place, that parcelage. So there we begin the worship.
After this, God instructed him to build a box of covenant, which is a token or symbol of an understanding between God and Joseph Ikechukwu that for as long as he, Joseph, will do God's will, I will do his work too. God did not just ask Joseph to build the box of covenant, he also told him who will help construct the box. Joseph was told that one Osai from Abi Undokwa West in Shekiri quarters by River Ajaka would do the job. Joseph Ikechukwu went across the river to look for Osai, who he saw, but surprisingly, Osai had seen the same box in his own revelation.
You know, this post was constructed before we were born, precisely. 70 years ago, by my uncle, my grandmother, and the man were the same father. So you understand, the mother that gave birth to my father.
This box of covenant between Apostle Joseph Ikechukwu and his Christian lineage on one hand, and God on the other hand, subsists till today. The mandate is, do God's work, and he will do our work. St. Joseph's Chosen Church of God is doing God's work, and so God is doing our work. Still under the divine inspiration and directive, Apostle Ikechukwu was directed by God to dig a well of water near his house at Ajagbodudu. He was then divinely instructed by God to give the water from the well to the needy to cure various ailments.
He stay. This is where Ikechukwu stay, and this place where he stays, so this is the position where God for touch him, and this is where I stand. So is the position of the well where if for the use water they heal people. We go over Africa when we the chief there ask them say make the call the man of God. The healing water God revealed. God revealed for the elect of God. So although I never follow them go that healing water, but anybody when he's sick and he enter that water, he go heal. You see, anybody when he's sick, when he enter that water, he go heal. Now, so that the healing water work.
Okay, so this is the road that leads to the first healing water established by the founder of the church. And I can imagine what the place looked like in the early 50s when it was divinely directed to locate this place. You can see that 2017 is still as bushy as it is today. So that shows the doggedness and the determination of the founder to obey the voice of God, and he was directed to meander through this the thick forest then to locate the healing water. So gentlemen, let's go and begin to see whether we can still locate the remnant of the place. The Delta region, always very swampy during rainy season. So this was where the man of God waded through as he was directed by God to locate the healing water. Be careful. He did this all alone in total obedience to God's commandment. And it's on record that many came in here and they had their various miracles that were received without any financial attachment to it. So we are still trying to locate the place. It will have been easier for us to locate it at the peak of dry season. But here are we, August is the peak of rainy season. So you can bend down a little and see whether we can navigate our way close to the place. In those days when The healing water was fully functional. The road was really, this place was really very clean and tidy because of constant visitors that used to come. We may have to stop here. Down there is the location of the healing water, and the much you can get from it now is like a small pool of water with an embankment of sand around it, and some little block work that was done during that time. The place still has a pool of water, and someday we'll go to get close to the spot and video it fully. So this is how it looks today, and I want to believe that when it was established, the place must have been much thicker in terms of forest vegetation and as it is today.
The family of Gabriel Avara of Urovie, Abraka, will ever remain grateful to God for healing their wife and mother, Obadamuge Avara, who suffered from the issue of blood for several years without cure.
They go door by door, they say, come out and hear the word of God. So many people, they go come out. They go preach for them. Another month too, we go. There we go another month when we go. I say, last month when we pray for everybody, if anybody receive other healing or any blessing, let him come out and they say. Now one young boy come out. His name be Gabriel. Now from Urovo Abraka. He say, yes, he receive healing and a blessing. He say, he got the gonorrhea. And he don't take medicine. The mama and the senior brother, they don't bring the medicine. When he drink, he say, they go. So later they carry woman come say, now your wife. Nobody. But when the man of God pray for them that day, he said, now in wife don't take in. And that Gloria, you don't go, to see him again. So that woman come deliver baby girl. Now so the church take go over Baraka. So carry that in, doctor, go to their village. Go to them, say, one Igbo man, they call Joseph, say, now you give him this picking. You pray for him, so the wife will pray for him. So in people say, they want to see the man. So we come carry us. We go for Baraka.
To appreciate God for this miracle done through his apostle, Mr. Gabriel Avara piloted evangelism of the gospel until St. Joseph's Chosen Church of God was built in Roboland in 1947. Mr. Avara later became Apostle Ikechukwu's personal assistant as he joined in the evangelism project. In 1950, the Spirit of God directed Apostle Ikechukwu to go to Benin City, where he would see a woman who had been afflicted. Apostle Joseph Ikechukwu, as an obedient servant of God, rode on his bicycle to Benin City, a distance of about 41 kilometers from his base in Ajagbodudu, all in search of an unknown woman. The search for the said woman did not last for long, as the husband of the woman in question, James Alile, along with his friend Igumbo, came to see Apostle Ikechukwu, who prayed with them concerning the woman, Anna Alile, who had been bedridden for over 8 years. Following Apostle Joseph Ikechukwu's prayer, reports have it that the woman was made strong.
Ikechi, they Ajabodu, God tell them, say, go Bini. There is a woman which is instrument. When they retire, go and lose that woman and set her free. You don't know the woman. They carry in bicycle because from Ajabodu to Bini, say 31 miles. That time now no motor. They carry in bicycle, come Bini. That time now they don't start to build that #1 church. He say, according to him, he say, when he reach there, kneel down, they pray. He say, God, you don't come Bini. You don't know the woman. You don't know where you go see her. I say, they pray so. Pray finish. God make I want to see the woman. When he get up now, he turn eye, say he come see 2 man. He ask them, say, come here. They enter. So, because at that time now no pastor. Now him be a pastor, now him be apostle. Now him be everything. You see. So he said, yes, any problem? They say, yes. Then come and see him. And then they say, my wife, no way. Say they don't try. So no, you don't feel all right. So they hear about him. They say maybe they come here. So they ask them, say maybe they go carry the woman. And they say, enough it is done for bicycle. Because at that time no motor. He said enough it is done for bicycle. Enough it is done when I go carry and come. Okay, Kechi asked them, say, kneel down. They kneel down. Kechi say, now God. Now he said, now say, there is a woman. Go and heal that woman. Deliver that woman. Let them know that you are God. So we pray for them, then we go. According to them, before they reach the house, I need a wife, you don't bath or wear better clothes. Sit down, they wait in your husband. When the husband enters, they look up, say, eh? And wife tell them, say, that is native daughter when you go. He say, he don't heal, nothing. He say, he don't well, nothing. My husband tell him, say, I be native daughter now. One man, one able man. Where God do they use? So we don't church they when they do their church #1. So they call the name the police. Now so I lead the family take it enter St. Joseph.
This divine miracle from God through the ministration of Apostle Ikechukwu then formed the basis for the establishment of the church in Benin City, to which the Aliles worshipped.
Sat me down, told me how one pastor, Joseph Ikechukwu, prayed for her, and she was well after 10 years of sickness. In those days, my father's parlor was just like this, and there was a sofa seat like that, and that's where my mother was sleeping, not in her bedroom. My sister Gloria and Dr. Alile now, they used to bath her there, take a towel and scrub her. And there also they used to feed her. And so when I got home, I saw my mother was in a velvet dress. Mama, you are this well? I say, yeah. Where did you get all this fancy food? I said, well, in Benin, successful women used to have exclusive dresses of velvet in those days. And she had her own. Because when the British were going to, or the Nigerian government, local government, treat their people well, the wives of those military boys were always given special trading. And Mama was given an exclusive trading in tobacco and made plenty of money. So there she bought that velvet, but when she was sick, spent all the money. But kept that velvet dress in an iron box. And my immediate sister, if she were to die, this is your inheritance. And I locked that box, kept it. So immediately she was well. They brought out the box and she wore that clothes. So Ikechukwu said yes. What is the church? To be called St. Joseph Apostolic Church. Wow. So when they told me all this story, I said, oh. One thing that I observed in the Catholic Church at that time was that we never used to pray for the sick. Anybody sick in the school or this, we whisk them up to the hospital. The Reverend Father will arrange for them to go to the hospitals. This little church they are talking about, so their pastor will pray for the sick. A woman who has been sick for almost 10 years, at the point of death, woke up. I must go and see that church. Luckily, it was the first Easter break after I started my Form 1 in Loyola College. So I went with them to the church. I sat at the back of the school. I mean, at the back of the church, the back seat. As I was at the back seat, watching them, all the testimonies we have. This is how God did this for me. This is Ikechukwu prayed for me. This is how God healed this woman. This is how God healed that. Mm-hmm. And they all look shiny on their faces. Fantastic. So I said, now I have reached what people now call a final bus stop.
It was almost imminent. I mean, that she was going to die because she had been taken to various hospitals, taken to native doctors, and he would not get well. He was drying up. almost dying when a friend of the family, friend of our father, late Pa James Alile, came to the house and asked that my father should go and seek prayers from a prophet that was visiting Benin from Ajagbodudu. And my father talked to my mom. And my mom said, yes, please do. Go and pray prayers for me, even if that's the last resort. Because her death was almost imminent. If I was imminent, we were all looking for that particular moment when my father had to go to the church with this family friend. And when he got there, Apostle Ikechukwu, who had come in from Ajagbodudu to spend some days with his flock in Benin, on Virginia Street off First Secular. So yes, indeed, Mr. Lille, I tell you one thing. Last night, just last night, I was in a dream and I saw a slim woman, fairly dark, slim woman, being led by some people whom I considered in my own interpretation were enemies of this woman. They were dragging her like you would drag a goat to slaughter. And he asked them what she had done. They said she didn't do anything, but they just wanted to kill her. And he was able to wrest her from them and prayed for her and set her free. And that this might be the woman I saw in my dream. And it was part of the reason why I had to go to Ajagbodudu. Come from Ajagbodudu to Benin and ask that our father should kneel down and offer prayer to him. And said, on getting home, do the same prayers for your wife. She will get healed. Father asked him whether he believed in what he was saying. My father, whether rightly or wrongly, he said he believed.